Good morning. In this particular video on obesity, I'm going to talk about certain experiments that were performed and the results of those experiments. The conclusions will be drawn, but the conclusions are self-explanatory. So I hope this particular issue will help you in reducing or increasing the calorie intake, either way. So in one particular experiment, the university students were given pasta. Group 1 was told that they're trying to find out an ideal amount of pasta, and they were provided same pasta amount that was normally served, but were told that they're going to be given 1.5 times the pasta. The other group of students were told that they want to find out the ideal amount of pasta, but were given only 3/4 portions of the pasta. The students that were told that they are provided more than usual amount of pasta left some behind. Students that were told that they were provided less pasta but were given the same amount finished entire plate. It is interesting to know that 92% of the adults tend to finish their plate completely, while only 65% of the children finish whatever is offered to them in the plate. So the portions are same, but when you were told that the portions are more than usual, you tend to eat less. When you were told portions are less than average, you tend to eat everything. In another group of experiments, the waiters were told when the wings were served in the restaurant that as soon as even 1 or 2 wing bones are put in the plate, take it out and keep the central plate empty, where the patrons were asked to throw their bones after eating the wings. In a parallel experiment, the other group of patrons were told, the waiters were told that they have to leave the plate there, and the bones were collected that the people that were consuming the wings could see it. In the group where there were no bones left behind in the plate for patrons to observe, ate much more wings than in the group where they could see the pile of bones collected in the center of the table, where they were provided a plate to throw the bones. Again, once you know how much you're eating, you tend to eat less. When you are not aware as to how much you're eating, you eat more. In a third group of experiment, the size of the dish was changed. And people were taking their own pasta as their own serving. At the end of the line, the pasta was weighed. So when smaller plates were provided, people took less pasta. When bigger plates were provided, people took bigger pasta, because the contrast between the size of the plate and amount of pasta created an impression that they had taken already enough. When the plates were smaller, while the plates were bigger, the patrons felt that the amount that they have taken is not enough and ended up taking much more pasta. In another group of experiment, again, I'm quoting all these experiments so that you can understand how the human psyche works when we are eating or consuming the calories. So in another group of patrons, they were provided a white plate, white pasta, white Alfredo sauce on one side. Another side, they had a white plate, white pasta, and marinara sauce. In a third group of people, they were provided red plate, white pasta, white sauce, and another one was red plate, white pasta, and the Alfredo sauce. Whenever there was a contrast between the sauce, which covered the pasta, and the plate color, the contrast created an impression that they were taking a lot more than when there was no contrast. So white plate, white Alfredo sauce, people took literally 30% more pasta. In a red plate, red sauce, that is marinara, people took more pasta. But when the red plate was combined with Alfredo sauce, people took less because the contrast indicated how much pasta they were actually eating. So the contrast is of a great help to create reduction in the calorie intake. The other thing that people have realized that whenever you have leftover left in the freeze versus leftover on the countertop, when things are left on the countertop, things that you can munch on, not something which you'll have to take a plate, people tend to finish it quickly. Peanuts, some others, some stuffed mushrooms. If these were left on the countertop of the kitchen, people tend to finish it at the end of the day or even within few hours than if they were put in a storage container and put it in the refrigerator. So again, if you want to reduce the caloric intake, do not leave these kind of things hanging on the countertops of the kitchen. I'm going to tell you one more experiment, and then that will probably help you to understand. A group of husbands and their wives or different wives were asked if they were happy in their marriage. Now the entire group consisted of diabetic people. So when the husbands were asked if they were happy in their married life, and these people were diabetic, and they felt that their married life was not happy, their diabetic control was much superior to the husband who felt they were very happy in their married life. The contrast was seen in women. When the women who were diabetic asked if they were happy in their married life, if they told that they are unhappy, their diabetes was worse controlled than women who told that their married life was not happy and their diabetic measures were checked. My conclusion in this particular study is that husbands who felt they were not happy was because their wives controlled what they ate, whether it was wings, whether it was beer, whether it was fries, whether it was chips. So when these food intake was reduced because the wife was very conscious of the food that the husbands were eating, they felt that their life was not happy, but the diabetic control was superior. When the wives were asked whether their married life was happy or not, and they were not happy, they interiorized, and since the kitchen or the cooking was in their hand, they tended to compensate by eating more, and subsequently their diabetic control was very poor. I hope this particular type of experiment that I have told you will help you in understanding how to control your own intake. If you eat in company, you tend to eat more. If you're eating alone, you tend to eat less. If you're watching TV and eating without paying attention to what you're eating, you tend to eat more. However, if you're watching as to what you eat, you tend to eat less. These things are very helpful in modifying your own behavior. I hope this helps. More tips in the future videos. But at this time, after this particular video, for next few videos, I'm going to talk about law of karma. Law of karma is very well-known fact, and I will be doing few more videos on the law of karma. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and you will subscribe and you will enjoy the future videos that I'm going to do. Thank you. Have a nice day.